What is going on, my dudes? Little Dog here, and today I'm bringing you a quest guide for the brand new quest, Pieces of Hate. This is the final quest in the Pirate Quest series where you finally face Rabid Jack and do your best to take him down. So this guide, if you haven't used my guides before, is done at a 1-to-1 speed, so you can just follow along on a second screen or a phone or something like that, or just listen to me talk because I try to explain it as well as I can, just with my voice as you're doing the quest. Obviously, it's going to be best if you have it on a separate screen, just so you can watch the video as it goes through, but, do whatever you need to do to get the quest done. So I'm going to start by going over all the requirements, all the items you're going to need. If you're already familiar with that, you can just go ahead and skip ahead to the beginning of the quest or whatever part you need in the quest if you're stuck somewhere. If this video does help you, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So let's get into the quest itself. Alright, to start with the quest requirements, you're going to need to have completed a Clockwork Syringe. This is the previous quest in the Pirate Quest series, and you're also going to need to have completed Gertrude's cat, just so you can go talk to Gertrude during a part of the quest. As for the skill requirements, you're going to need to have 81 Construction, 82 Fire Making, 83 Agility, and 85 Thieving. Now, 110 Combat is recommended. I highly recommend you at least have that, as well as reasonable gear, and that gear being good for an area of effect combat style, like melee or magic. That's going to be your best bet for getting through the part of the quest that's combat heavy. Alright, as for the items you're going to need 1 Blurberry Special, 1 Drunk Dragon, and 1 Chocolate Saturday. If you just go to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, you can buy these. The pre-made versions will work. You're going to need 2 leather and 1 gold bar. I'll tell you when you're going to need to get these items out of the bank. You're going to have to bank immediately at the beginning of the quest if they are in your inventory anyway, so you might as well leave them in the bank. As for what items I'm going to recommend, and you'll see me use a few of these items like the Ectofile and the Pirate Spell Sheet, so if you want to follow along, I suggest you bring them as well. So you're going to need an anti-poison, around 2 super restores, 1 combat potion, an overload, or super war master potion is going to work just fine for that. You don't need to bring a super magic, super defense. The super war masters are like 20-30k on the Grand Exchange. Just drop some change and you'll get it. You're going to want around 25 food banked. Couldn't hurt to have more. You're going to want 1 set of combat equipment that has your best AoE abilities. This could be your melee or mage set or whatever. Whatever's going to be best for you, you can do the most damage with to the most people in the smallest amount of time. It's going to make it a lot easier. And as I said, the Ectofile and the Pirate Spell Sheet are going to make it so much easier to move around during this quest and save you a lot of time. So let's get into it. To start, you're just going to want to go to your house portal. That's going to be wherever your house is. So mine was in Taverley, so that's where my start point was. Alright, buckle up, buddies. We're in for a long one. So to start this, you're going to want to click on your house teleport portal here, and you're going to get a letter from Posty Pete from Bill Tench. You're going to want to read the letter and accept the quest. Now, the letter, when you read it, is going to tell you how Bill Tench was taken by customs, essentially. So you're going to want to go to the customs office here in Remington. Now, there's going to be a lot of jump cuts in this video. I just want to make you aware I was doing this on launch, so there was no guide or anything, no tips for me to follow. I was figuring everything out on my own. So there are some jump cuts, but nothing extreme where I'm just going to teleport somewhere else immediately. I'm still going to be in the same area. If it throws you off a little bit, I apologize, but there was really nothing I could do about it. I tried to make it look as good as possible. So I might mention the really bad ones throughout the video because I'm insecure about it. But ignoring that subject, we're going to head over to the customs officer here in Remington. When you get into the building here, if you have anything on you, any combat equipment or any armor, you're going to want to deposit all your items in the locker here. So just go ahead and unequip all items and empty everything from your inventory, and then you're going to talk to the customs officer and choose the first chat option to talk about Pieces of Hate. You're going to follow that up with I would like to confess, the 4th chat option, and follow that up with the first chat option, I am a pirate. Now he's going to take you to the jail on the rock where you escaped from in, I don't remember which, I think Rocking Out. So you're going to want to talk to Bill Tench here, shout through the bars, click through the dialogue options, and he tells you that we need to escape, something's going on, people are being taken off screaming. That's not good. So you need to start formulating your escape plan. He tells you, I don't know, maybe talk to the other prisoners, find out. So what you're going to want to do is shout through the bars on the other side to talk to Two-Eyed Eric. Choose the first chat option for Two-Eyed Eric, and he's going to, you're going to scare him. He's got 2 eyes, but he's not brave. So choose the 3rd chat option. Can you give me a hand? And as a matter of fact, he can. He has a hook hand shoved up his butt, is what they're implying there. Say goodbye. That's all you needed from him. And now you're going to want to use the hook on the bed to get a piece of cloth. Use that piece of cloth on the hook hand to get essentially a grappling hook. But that's not how we're going to use it. And then you're going to use the hook on the fishing spot near the pier. This whole part right here is all jump cuts. Just going to say it. That's the only time I mention it. All right, so we're going to use the hook on the pier there. It's going to be sharpened by the crabs, and you're just going to so happen to catch a fish. Weird. So you're going to run back up the gulf there, or whatever that would be, the shore, the rock ledge, back towards your cell. And there's going to be the perch where you called down Baron initially. So you're going to use the fish on the perch. And it's going to call down a seagull who you think is Baron, but it's not actually Baron. It's another weird seagull with a complicated, fancy name. He's going to, be mad at you for calling him Baron, but you'll get over it. He'll get over it. And he wants the fish. So you're going to take that fish and use it on your cell door. Now he's going to fly in and chase everybody out, and that opens you up to be able to use your sharpened hook on the door to pick your way out. Now you're going to want to run to the south side of the tower here, all the way over, and push the barrels. If you just click on them, it's going to push them in front of the door and block the customs officers out. Now on the western side of the tower here, you're going to have a bunch of stuff you can search. So you're going to want to search until you have a spoon, a sandwich, a pineapple, and a full customs outfit. That's going to be in the locker. Once you've done that, you're going to want to equip that customs outfit and head over and unlock Bill Tench. You have to open up Bill Tench's jail cell first. And you do that with a hook. So now that Bill's out, a rat is going to come and steal the hook somehow. So you're going to want to search those crates right behind you, and you'll get a crate when you do search them. And then you're going to want to use the spoon in your inventory on the crate, and then use your cheese sandwich on the trap that you just made. Now use the trap on the mouse hole located in Bill's cell. It's right along the wall. You can kind of see it there. Sorry for the poor angle. And you're going to catch the rat. Now you need to have a conversation with the rat. Start with the third chat option to firmly admonish the rat. And you're going to follow that up with a fourth chat option to inform the rat of your plight. Now the rat's going to feel some sympathy for you and kind of start participating in the conversation, not being a jerk. So follow that up with a second chat option. Introduce yourself properly. You learn that the rat's name is Wilson. You tell him your name, whatever your name is. I don't know your name. I'm Little Dog. Nice to meet you. Join the French chat, by the way. And then once you get through the dialogue here, you're going to choose the fourth chat option to ask for a way to free the others. And it just so happens that Wilson stole some keys. So you're going to use the keys on any of the locked cell doors. I just used the one on the female pirate right here because it was closest. And it's going to unlock all of the other pirates as well. Now once your little cutscene here changes, I guess, where everybody's actually out of their cells, you're going to want to go and talk to Bill. And then you're going to want to try and open the door that's right by the stairs. Now it's not going to work, so you're going to want to talk to the female pirate standing next to the door. And she tells you that the door has been charmed or hexed or something along those lines, where you can't open it without knowing exactly how to open it or what to say to open it. So now you're going to want to talk to the parrot. I think his name is Jimmy the Parrot, but I couldn't remember. So you're just going to click through the dialogue here, and your character is like, hey, do you remember? And he repeats back the code, essentially, to be able to open the door. Before he can finish it, the door opens because it's getting real dark. Once the door's open, you're going to want to climb up the stairs to go upstairs. And get ready for some more jump cuts. Alright, so you're going to want to search the lockers on the north side of the room for some rum. They're on the right side of the door. The lockers that are going to have the rum in them. And then you're going to use the pineapple in your inventory on the slime puddle located on the south side of the room you're currently in. Now it's going to give you a slimy pineapple. Use the slimy pineapple on the rat, Wilson. And then you're going to use Pineapple Wilson on the door to the bunk room right in front of you. Now you're going to open the door, let the rat through, and the guard is going to be real distracted by a moving pineapple. So now you can open the door, but before you go in, you're going to want to go back downstairs and investigate the poster next to the stairs. It's a little hard to see, but you need to investigate this to move on to the next part of the quest, so just make sure you do that. And once you've done that, you can climb back up and search the bunk room for a key. Just hover over the beds until there's an option to investigate. Now you're going to get the keys, so open the door to the egg sack room. It's a little gross in here. And you're going to want to use the rum in your inventory. If you don't have it, if you drank it or something, you can go get another one on one of the eggs. So if you use it on one of the eggs, it's going to give you the option to burn them with some great dialogue. This quest, if you usually skip through dialogue, read it on this one. I actually laughed. They did well. So say, yes, I am the god of hellfire. Hence that. I'm the god of fucking hellfire. Yeah. Excuse my French. All right, so now that you've done that, you're going to want to climb upstairs because that was the whole point of distracting the guard. And once you get up the stairs here, you're going to be confronted with a cutscene where Migor is talking to who I can only guess is Rabid Jack about their plan. So you're going to get some more details about the plan here, about how they're planning to take people over using some bad rum? Bad rum. I was trying to think of, a funny term for rum, like alcohol, but I didn't want to sound like a baby. All right. So once you get discovered by Migor, you're going to want to dive off the pier on the eastern side of the island here. Just follow everybody out because they know where they're going. Your character will dive off, and you're going to wind up on Karamja. Now, you're going to be there with two other pirates, and they're going to be arguing. I don't know their names. Obviously, Bill, and I don't know the other girl's name off the top of my head. You're going to say nothing. Just, let them work it out. And then she is going to offer to take you back to Mos Le Harmless. Now, obviously, you're going to say yes. Go back to Mos Le Harmless. And you're going to be put back on the island here. And you're going to want to go to the bank now and get all your items out. So you're going to need that blueberry special, the drunk dragon, the chocolate Saturday, 2 leather, and 1 gold bar from out of your bank. Make sure you have all these items on you because you are going to need them for the next part of the quest. And you're going to want a few of the items I recommended as well, especially the anti-poison. Bring one of your super restores. The combat potion is optional if you have more than one. I'd bring it if you're trying to save it. Use it for the next fight in the quest. I'll tell you when to get that. Get some of your banked food out. I think 15 should do it if you're at least level, 110. If you want to just, top off the rest of your inventory with it, I do that. You're definitely going to want the Ectofile and the Pirate Spell Sheet. And if you have a single target set better than your AoE set, that would work for this part of the quest as well if you'd rather use that. And you're going to want to go to the bar on the northern side where you can go to the basement. So from the bank, it's, it's right there. Mos Le Harmless isn't very big. And you're going to sit in the chair and ask for the long drop. It's going to be the first chat option. So it's going to give you a little cutscene, takes you into the basement, and all the pirates are going to be there, just waiting for you. So this is going to automatically start some dialogue where they just don't know what to do or where to find Rabid Jack. And you bring up that we happen to have a zombie that we took from Rabid Jack. And he might just cooperate. So you're going to get an option to talk to the zombie head here. And you're going to choose a second chat option to let them continue. Obviously, you're not getting the option for that yet. But they're just going to be arguing again because, the girl's kind of mean. Ungrateful, I guess. But, they're gonna suggest that you talk to the zombie head after the dialogue here. But it's a lot of dialogue. Everything I've already explained that I've put together at this point, they're explaining right now, just so they make sure that we got it. It was Rabid Jack who was up there explaining that to Migor and all that good stuff. But I'm sure there's some puns and jokes mixed in. I don't remember them. So, I'm just trying to fill time here because there's a lot of dialogue and I'm trying to keep from speeding up because I actually did that in this video at later points because it was just ridiculous. All right, so when you finally get the option to interrogate, you're going to choose the kind interrogation and then choose the third chat option. Maybe we can come to an arrangement. Follow that up with maybe we can work that out because, you know, the zombie explains that he wants love and companionship, and your character's like, hey, I'm single. But you get turned down. So like I said, you're going to follow that up with a second chat option. We can make that work. And you just get hardcore rejected. If you have a fear of rejection, this is not the quest for you. You know, it's kind of sad. I was hoping to hook up with a zombie, and it's not happening. But, you know, life goes on, I guess. But yeah. After that dialogue's over, you're going to want to choose the first chat option and accept the deal of showing the zombie what life's about. So you're going to want to climb up the ladder here. And from here, you're going to want to go to Gertrude's house, right in Varrock. We're going to help the zombie get a pet. So, because I know everyone has home teleports, I just home teleported. There's not a magic requirement for the quest, so I can't use teleport spells. I'm sure there was one for, you know, a prereq quest, but I didn't feel like looking. So we're using home teleports. It's what, an extra 5 seconds? All right, and from the lodestone, you're just going to go northwest to get to Gertrude's house. When it finally lets me walk. There we go. And once you're in the house, you're going to want to talk to Gertrude. And choose the first chat option to ask about a pet for the zombie head. Now, she's going to turn you down, saying, I only give pets to brave adventurers. But she says maybe her sons have heard of something, that a pet for the zombie, possibly. So, you need to go talk to one of her little children. Hands off. So talk to Gertrude's children, and they're going to tell you about how they might have seen some animals at the sawmill. If you have a lumberyard teleport in your bank, it's going to be a little quicker than walking, so you might as well just grab that since we're going to walk right past the bank. But I'm going to walk there because I know not everybody has one and I didn't put it in the recommended items. So we're going to the lumberyard, of course. Not too far of a walk, but a lumberyard teleport is going to speed this up. But if you're just following along, I walked. So, I mean, if you're just going to get there and wait for me, I might as well walk too. Save a bit of dough. Enjoying the music? I hope you are. I like this one. This is a good song. I can't hear it, but I put the music there, so I know it's good. One of my favorites, actually. Yeah. I'll let you get back to it. All right, music's over. All right, so when you get back to the sawmill here, you're going to want to climb through, and then you're going to see a jiggling crate somewhere. I'm unaware if you're going to have the same jiggling crate as I am or not, but you just need to search the sawmill till you find one. If it's different, if it's the same, good to know. Leave a comment down below. Say you fear nothing because you reach your hand in there and it's a little gross. And you're going to follow that up with the first chat option once again. Yeah, it's probably fine. So your character's going to reach in there and boom, bada bing, happens to be Wilson. So, because it's Wilson, you decide to give Wilson to the zombie head. Better than him having a cat, because he'd probably eat it. And Wilson and the zombie have like the same personality, so it works. They just, you know, both very, very agitated. It's a good way to put it. So once this whole dialogue's over here, if you're really paying attention, there was a quest to pay attention, probably this one, because, you know, I think I blew some air out of my nose a couple times. Yeah, it happened. But once this dialogue's over, you're going to be able to move on to the next part. It's automatically going to take the gold and the leather out of your inventory to make the collar for the rat. But you need to go get the zombie head drunk. So you're going to head to Karamja. This is the beach he wants to sit on. So you're just going to home teleport to Karamja. I mean, there's no better way to get there. It's right by the lodestone. Unless you got like a Draymond staff, and I don't even know if there's a fairy ring over there. So, I mean, a home teleport here is literally the best option. So you might as well just do it. And don't tell me to get Viswax for instant home teleports, because that is way too much work. I'm not doing that. But once you walk into the little area over here, it's going to be marked on your mini-map where exactly you need to be. Once you get into the area, it's going to auto-trigger the dialogue, and the zombie head's going to ask to be set down. So put the zombie head down, first chat option, and now you need to get him messed up. So talk to him, and then you're going to choose the first chat option, yes, to give him the Blu-ray special. Follow that up with the first chat option, yes, to give him the Drunk Dragon. And you're going to follow that up with the first chat option, yes, to give him the Chocolate Saturday. Now you're going to watch the sunset with him, first chat option. And believe it or not, first chat option, yes it is. So you can just click through the dialogue at this point if you're not interested. If you are interested, like me, you're gonna want to read it, but you're gonna complete this whole part. You're gonna put the zombie back in your inventory, and you can go back to Mos Le Harmless now, and the fastest way to get there is going to be with an ecto file. You can see in my inventory, I don't have one on me, so I went to the bank, but just pour one out right now and imagine I did too. Boom, there it is. The wonders of editing. If you didn't have an ecto file, you're going to want to get one. It's way faster than walking there. Canifis Lodestone is your best bet, or a charter ship. But you're going to need to go to Bill Tench's boat out on the docks there, that picture that was just on the screen, but I was distracted talking about some other stuff. Now, Bill's not going to be on his boat because he's obviously in the bar basement right now. You know, it's a quest. They actually figured that part out. Make Bill not everywhere. He's just replaced by a regular old pirate. So talk to the pirate. He has no quick travel option, so you have to talk to him. And he's going to ask, hey, do you want to go to Mos Le Harmless? Yeah, you do. First chat option. All right, let's do it. You're going to get back to Mos Le Harmless, and you're going to want to return to Bill Tench in the basement of the bar, doing the whole sit in a chair, long drop shenanigans to get back downstairs. So, long drop. And you're going to be taken back in the basement where the zombie head finally tells you where you're going to want to go, Kraken Island, to find Rabid Jack. Now, the female pirate, once again, I can't remember her name. Apologies to the female pirates out there. It's nothing personal. I just am awful with names. She's going to offer to take you to Kraken Island on her little rowboat. Take her rowboat out to her boat and take you to Kraken Island on her boat. So obviously you're going to do that because, I mean, that's the point of the quest. You want to kill Rabid Jack, and that's where he says he is. So you're going to climb up the ladder, and the rowboat is going to be on the southwestern shore of Mos Le Harmless, right over here. So you're going to want to head to the boat. Make sure you're ready for boss combat. So the boss fight is similar to the weekly or monthly event where you get the bonus XP pearls. I never do it. Make sure you're ready for combat. I used all my food in my inventory, and you can see my levels there. So that gives you kind of a general idea. I didn't have prayer because I forgot to bring super restores. But it is still kind of a hard fight, especially because you're going in blind, essentially. So after a little bit of dialogue here, you're going to hit some underwater island, essentially, which is actually Kraken Island. And the ship's going to be attacked. So you're going to enter the south door, and that's going to trigger this whole cutscene here. And you're going to want to attack all 4 of these tentacles. They're pretty easy to kill. They have 210 HP each. Rabid Jack, shows up. Whatever. It's just him. Attack each of the tentacles. They're going to drop the other pirates into the water. And once you've done that, you're going to get the actual boss, whose, tentacles that was, to spawn. And she just pops her way up through the bottom of the boat. It's not ideal. The boat probably can't float anymore after she does that, but she's kind of holding it up. So, no worries. And the boss has got 100,000 HP. Bit of a long fight. I did speed up the end of it, but for the beginning, just to show you the basic mechanics and what I was doing, I did keep, I think, the first minute of the fight slowed down. It took me about 4 minutes to kill the boss here. So when you're in close range, you're going to want to protect from melee. At long range, you're going to want to avoid the tentacles that pop up here. They only pop up when you're in range, and they have a 2x2 attack radius, so even if it doesn't look like you're in range there, you actually are. They hit 620 every time. There's going to be little crustacean spawns that pop up at the back of the deck. You're going to drag those to the upper deck because you'll avoid any damage from the boss when you're up there. That's just up those stairs. And you're going to want to avoid his vomit. That's the best way I could describe it. That purple stuff you can see he's doing right now, as well as his air bombs, which cast a slight shadow on the deck before they come down. You're just going to want to basically run around like a chicken with your head cut off. So that's really all there is to the fight. Protect melee, avoid stuff. And when these little guys spawn, just drag them up to the top of the deck. If you want to tank them, that's an option. You don't have to kill them right away, but I figured it'd be better to avoid less damage, especially because I didn't have any melee prayers. It's a fairly simple fight. Takes a little while because he has such high HP and there's some mechanics to it, but you should be able to do it. Drink your anti-poison if you have it. You're going to need it for this part of the fight. And if you forgot to bring it, you're not going to need it for the quest at all. You're just going to have to tough it out. So you can see those air bombs there. They're kind of hard to see. You're just going to want to run around when you see them start to come down. There's really no indicator that I noticed to tell you when they're coming. I'm sure there was one. Or it's probably just like a timing thing. And you're bound to get hit by it the first time if you don't know. The boss actually has pretty low defense. You hit fairly frequently. So it's not too hard to kill him. But there is a lot of damage incoming that can be a little difficult to avoid all of it. It seems like the longer the fight goes on, the more those air bombs drop each time, so you're going to want to run around more. You can see I almost died there from them. Once the fight is over, the big old crustacean is just going to die. It's going to fall on the ship. And you're going to be taken back to Mos Le Harmless after a bit of dialogue. We're doing this all in one go here too, so yeah. Been talking for what, half an hour straight now? It's going well. I think it's going well. Leave a like if it's going well. Alright, so you're going to get back to Mos Le Harmless and realize that the big old monster was just a diversion, and Rabid Jack has been just, frolicking around the island doing his worst. So you need to fix the island back up, essentially. And this is really the time-consuming part of the quest. I think this part took me an hour because I was trying to figure it out, but hopefully, once I did figure it out, I can give you the tips that helped me actually finish the event. So it's kind of a little minigame. This is going to be minigame part 1. You have to clear these 4 areas and keep the zombies from spawning, destroy anything, repair barricades, all that. There's only 4 areas in the first part. There's going to be 7 areas in the second part. And the second part is a really time-consuming part. This is more of a tutorial for the main event. So you're going to want to focus on keeping the main gate at 3 skulls. If it goes above 3 skulls, it's going to take priority because you want to keep those barrel chests from spawning. They take forever to kill because they have 15,000 HP and fairly high defense. If a location does become red, that's going to immediately take priority as long as the main gate is not also red. So if the main gate is at 3 or even 4 skulls, if it's been at 4 skulls for a while, you're going to want to head to the main gate first. But if let's say the west wall is red as it is now, and the main gate happened to be at 2 skulls, you're going to want to head to the west wall immediately and kill the captains first, and then the other zombies, and then res the pirate, because the captains are going to take down more skulls than anything else would. So So the priority of the monsters you want to kill at each location is going to be barrel chests, it's going to be captains, and then everything else. You want to try and get all location to 2 skulls first, and then go back around and bring locations down. Don't completely finish a location immediately, then move to the next one. It's going to be too time consuming, and you'll just get behind. You won't be able to keep up, and you'll get overrun. Everything will go to 4 red skulls, and that is just a son of a bitch. And that's the best way I can really help you with this. It's going to be similar for part 2 as well, but there's much more to it. So when you do completely finish a location, it's going to disappear on the left, but there's an opportunity for it to come back. It doesn't happen with the main gate for me this time, but it does happen with the west wall. It actually does come back, because if you completely finish a place and then another place gets overrun and they start spawning other zombies somewhere, they can go to places that don't have anything. It just depends on your luck. So immediately when you get to these locations that don't have barrel chests, you're going to want to focus on the captains. The captains are going to bring down most of the skulls. And then for this one, you're going to need to repair these cannons and shoot them. It's just 2 clicks to repair the cannons, and you don't actually have to kill anything other than the zombie captains. So that can save some time. It took me a while to figure that one out. So you're going to repair the cannons here and shoot the ships. Now you can see I had to go back to the west wall at this point because it had come back up. So I went back and finished off the west wall before I went to the southeast cannons. That was actually wrong. It's not what I should have done, but at this point I was still trying to figure the game out. So what I really should have done is gone to the southeast cannons first, dropped those down to, I could have finished it actually if the west wall still only had 1. So finished off the southeast cannons and then gone back to the west wall to finish it off. But I did what I did. It actually happened to work out because there wasn't as much going on. There were only 4 spots rather than 7. So this part is definitely a bit chaotic, but the next part is even worse. You just have to try and stay calm and prioritize what you're doing, really, is a good way to think about it. So the cannon locations are the same. You just have to repair and shoot the 2 boats. But as soon as you shoot the last boat and finish it off, you're going to get all 7 locations to pop up. So you're going to have the ship on the top left there. The fields are going to be another one you have to focus. So the 3 you're going to have to focus on this one are the main gate, the fields, and the ship. Ship has to die last, but this part's very tough. I think it took me 45 minutes probably to just do this part of the quest. So yeah, you're going to have the same 4 locations in. You're going to have 1 on the river there where you have to destroy some bridges, and the other 2 outside of the main walls. So as I said, the main gate, the crop field, and the ship are going to be most important other than what's red. If those 4 get to 4 skulls and nothing's red, you're going to want to respond to those. So as I said, respond to everything else as it reaches 4 skulls, take them down to 2 skulls. Finish the items in number 1 first. However, the ship has to be last. So the ship has to be the last thing to go after everything else has already disappeared off the interface on the left there. You don't have to kill all the cannons at the field, or you don't have to kill all of the zombies at the field, at the cannon, the field, the river. Only the captains and the barrel chests have to die at those locations. And like I said, don't get frustrated. You'll eventually get it once you figure it out kind of for yourself, what you're supposed to do. Maybe you'll get some better hits on the barrel chests than I did. But when I speed it up here, you're going to see that I got really close a couple times, and then all of a sudden I just got overrun because I couldn't keep up, because I was just taking care of locations completely rather than slowly whittling them all down kind of together. So rather than having one place at 4 skulls and finishing the place you're currently at, if I haven't explained this enough already, you're going to want to bring all the places down to 2 skulls so that by the time you're going back around again, they're all going to be right around 3 or 4 skulls. Bring those all back down to 1 skull, essentially, and then go back down and finish, and you're going to finish with the ship. Now, it sounds easier said than done, but you're not going to be able to go 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. Just like you can't go to the White Wall, to the Southwest Canyon, to the Southeast Canyons, to the river, because they're not going to spawn at the same rate, or the skulls aren't going to appear at the same rate. It just depends on your luck of the draw, essentially. So what I'm going to do here, because I feel like you kind of understand it, is I'm going to stop here. I'm going to speed it up. I'm still going to talk over it just to kind of give a general idea of what's going on. I apologize if that's going to mess you up. I'm not trying to mess you up, but there's just so much that's that goes on. Essentially, it takes too long. This video would be 2 hours long if I don't speed this part up. So I actually have it sped up, I believe, 8 times faster, just to give you a general idea of what I'm doing. Because at this point, I'm about to get overrun again, and I'm basically restarting. So you've seen what I've done already, but we're going to go ahead and speed it up. Like I said, at these locations, I still haven't figured it out. For the cannons and the boardwalks here, you only have to kill the captains to be able to destroy the bridges and destroy the ships. The other zombies aren't going to get in your way. The barrel chests, if they only spawn when there's 4 skulls, and I believe it takes a while after there's 4 skulls for them to spawn. So you're going to want to keep those at 3 skulls as much as possible, because they're really the time killers. Taking 15,000 HP down just takes a while. At this point, I believe I was still trying to completely finish locations before I moved on to the next one. No, actually, I figured it out at this point. If I had my audio on or my mic, if I had left that in the video, you would just hear groans and profanities for this part of the quest because of what happens. Just because I'll leave the cannons will all of a sudden be bad again. And then I think 3 or 4 locations all went red at one time. It got frustrating. That's why I made a point to say, don't get frustrated. I think it was right here. The main gate got overrun. The crop field got overrun, and I just couldn't. Everything came back, started getting red, and I just got mad. So I feel like you've got a general idea of what's kind of happening so far, what you need to do. So I'm just going to be quiet, let you enjoy the music, and I'll catch you on the flip side, dog. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Deal with it. It felt so good when I was finally getting it, because at this point I was finally getting it. You know, I only 3 skulls at 1. It felt so good, guys. I want you to feel that feeling. I don't want you to have the difficulties I did, but I want you to feel that feeling. So we finally did it. Congratulations, everybody. We finally did it. The most time-consuming part of the quest is over. We can move on. So once you do finally finish, you're going to get put into a little cutscene here where Captain Izzy Nobeard runs in and confronts you and Bill Tench and tells you that his ship was just destroyed by Rabid Jack. And they're attacking Braindeath Island. That's no good. That's no bueno. So you need to head to Braindeath Island and figure out how to fix that scenario going on over there. So if you have it in your bank or in your inventory, you need to get it. You're going to want to use the Pirate Skull to teleport to Braindeath Island and choose the first chat option to continue Pieces of Hate. Now, once you're on Braindeath Island, you're going to want to head over to Davy here. It's not that easy to get to him because the way's been blocked, but I'll show you how to get there. So you're just going to run south along the outside of the building here, and you're going to want to go down one of these staircases. It doesn't matter which one. I went down the one to the west just because I was still looking around, trying to find my way around. Once I finally figured out how to get to him, you got to go down the staircase here and then up the staircase that goes directly into the bunk room there. There, it finally clicked. You can see when I examined him, I finally got it. My mouse started moving faster and everything. It's like, oh, that's where I need to go. So climb up the stairs to get to Davy, talk to Davy, and he's going to inform you on what's going down. Migor's here. He's got the brewers trapped, holding them hostage. Captain Braindeath's in there. He's threatening to, do things, hostage things if he doesn't give him the recipe for the rum. So he tells you that there's a window there. You can go listen to it. So run over and listen through the window into the room that Migor is in with Captain Braindeath. Now, he's trying to get the secret ingredient for the rum out of Captain Braindeath so that they can make the rum themselves. Captain Braindeath notices you, agrees to tell Migor the secret ingredient. However, he lies just so he can get Witchwood out to tell you about Witchwood. Now, Migor obviously doesn't believe him, so he has the hostages slaughtered right there. Just the burial chest, sending them down to the poisonous spiders. Now, once that's done, you heard about Witchwood. You're going to want to go back and talk to Davy. Davy's going to realize that he meant Operation Witchwood, but whatever that was. It's essentially something to do with 50% Luke out there. And he tells you that you're going to need to get Witchwood, essentially, from Luke and use it to poison the rum. So he's going to give you a barrel chest disguise. And kind of explain to you what you need to do. Essentially, you need to get back in there and free Captain Braindeath. Figure out how to do that. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is go talk to Captain Donnie in the courtyard where it says dead people on the map. So climb down the stairs here. And Captain Donnie is just standing there. So walk over to him. And, right next to him, you're just going to want to put on that barrel chest suit. Somehow he won't notice that it's a person getting into a giant suit next to him. But we roll with it. Once you're in the barrel chest costume, you're going to want to talk to Captain Donnie. And choose the third chat option. Migor is in need of some witchwood. Now, he realizes that 50% Luke is made out of witchwood. So he just goes and retrieves it for you as long as you have space in your inventory. So if you don't, just drop something. Get the leg. And you can talk to 50% Luke some more. Or you can talk to Captain Donnie again. You don't need to. So just say goodbye. And now you're going to want to go and change out of your costume. Now you can get past 50% Luke because he's totally dejected about having his limbs stolen. So you're going to want to go to the other part of the island there to the north and up to the perch where the seagull is. Up at the top there, you're going to see the perch, and it's right by that, pool of whatever it is. Think water, might not be water, whatever. But you're going to need to investigate the perch there. And when you do, the seagull's going to come down, and this time it's actually your boy Baron. So talk to the seagull, And he's going to, offer his help to help bust open that dungeon there to get those rum-pumped crabs out. He tells you that regular cannonballs won't work. They're going to need something a little more explosive. And he has a great idea of you going and figuring out what that is. So at this point, you're going to need to get into the distillery. So you need to go back and talk to Captain Donnie. And you also need to prepare yourself for what I'm assuming is the worst jump cut in this entire video. Because this part took me a while to figure out, and I didn't even know where to stand when I started recording again. So, I'm going to point that out when we get to it, if you don't notice already, because once again, I'm insecure about it. I try to make my videos good, but it's a shameful jump cut. So you want to go talk to Captain Donnie, the guy just standing there right in the middle. Just click right towards Captain Donnie. You're going to go right there. And boom, shameful jump cut. All right. So put on your costume. And talk to Captain Donnie again. This time you're going to want to choose the second chat option, Migor wants to see you right now. Now when Captain Donnie goes in, he's going to tell the barrel chest guarding what the password is. And he allows him in, and you overhear what the password is, so now you know the password. Sometime later, Captain Donnie gets back, and you don't even have to talk to him at this point. You just got to click through the dialogue, and then you can walk in to the distillery and use the password for yourself. So climb up the stairs here, talk to the barrel chest, and choose the fifth chat option. Once you get there, a little ahead. How appropriate, you fight like a zombie sea cow. He'll back up. And you're going to want to climb up the ladder to the east. Now you can change out of your barrel chest costume at any point now that you're in. Doesn't matter. I change out of mine right here. And then you're going to run to the western side of the room and grab the rum barrels that are sitting on the crates. Make sure you grab both of them. And then you're going to, before you go anywhere, you're going to want to come back and use 50% Luke's leg in the machine here. So use it in the pressure barrel. Your character stuffs it in. And then you're going to pull the lever right there to operate the machine. There's going to be some explosions downstairs, and it's going to soak the barrel chests in rum. Now you're going to want to return to the Seagull. You've got everything you need. And you're going to want to head right up to the Seagull. You don't have to place the barrels there or anything. You just give them to the Seagull himself. You're going to need to investigate the perch again to bring him back. Talk to him. And it's going to be the first chat option basically saying, yeah, I'm ready to go. So you're going to be playing as the Seagull now, and you're going to want to line up with the dungeon entrance and drop the bomb. You got to keep in mind that when you're using this little mini game here, there are physics involved, so you have to drop early. So essentially, whatever direction you're traveling, you have to drop before you get there. It's a little easier to come at it going north. You can line up a little better. And you have to keep in mind that he turns wide as well. So it's a little hard to line up. You get used to it after a while, figure out how to do it. The way I figured out how to drop the bomb is if I'm directly over the dungeon entrance here, I want to wait till the goal himself is on or past the dungeon entrance to get a hit. If it's while he's on it, there's a potential that you're going to be too early, but when his tail feathers are just past it or the bomb itself is directly over it, is when you're going to have your best chance of hitting the dungeon. So I've sped this up, I think, as well a little bit. I'm not sure, actually, because there wasn't much going on there. No, there was only like 30 seconds left, so you can see I missed because I dropped too early. That's why you got to wait till the goal is past. His tail feathers are past the dungeon entrance there. That's how you make sure you're going to hit it. And 3 hits total is all you need to break it. And once you get that 3rd hit, you're going to get a cutscene where the rum-pumped crabs jump out of the dungeon and essentially overrun the distillery. So because we're doing this at a 1-to-1 pace, I'd usually speed up this cutscene here because it's so long. But I figure if you're doing this with me, you have to watch it too, so I haven't sped it up at all. It is kind of funny though, because, you know, the cats. And then the game accuses you of being a monster because you actually do want to see it. You know how these things go. So once that long cutscene's finally over, you're going to want to talk to Migor here. He's going to be bodiless now. He's just a head in a barrel. And he's going to accidentally reveal where Rabid Jack is, which happens to be where you already were, where you were attacked by the Kraken. So at this point, I'm just going to stress this now. There's some text that comes up. You just click through the dialogue right now and listen to me. So you're going to want to make sure you're ready for combat. And the fight with Jack is actually pretty difficult. If you're around my level, if you're level 110 like the quest recommends, it can be really difficult. So if you're ready, choose set sail for Kraken Tooth Island, the first chat option. If you're not ready, choose the second chat option and go stock up. You're going to want the overloads and full inventory full of food and your restores so that you can keep your pair up, because he's not difficult, but the fight is so long that you're going to take damage. If you got soul split and stuff, I mean, you'll probably be fine, but I don't. A lot of people don't. So just heed my warning, because it's a very long fight. It's 80,000 HP total, I believe. Maybe 100,000 total. And it's a little more difficult than the Kraken fight that already happened. So you're going to show up on this ship here once you've finally gone to Kraken Tooth Island. And before you dive, you're going to want to take the equipment from the crate of diving gear, because you have to go underwater. So your character is going to equip it once you take the gear, and now you can dive through the cracked hull on the north side of the boat. Now you're going to want to follow my path because it's a little unclear on the menu how to get there to get to Rabid Jack. So you're going to want to go south from where you initially get underwater, and there's going to be a small piece of ship, I believe, you can jump off of. That requires 83 agility. This is what the agility requirement is for. Boom. Okay. So just follow my path. It's not hard to get there, but because of the way it's designed, it's a little difficult to see. Really, you could just click and figure it out. But I figured I'd show you as well. So you're going to get to this little underwater castle here with a shimmering barrier. And once you get up to that, you're going to want to pass through it, and that's going to begin the encounter with Rabid Jack. You can see he's in there, but when you get in, it won't immediately begin fighting him. You're going to have a cutscene where you see the female pirate who was taken by Rabid Jack earlier in the quest, stuck underwater. However, she's cool. Cool as a cucumber. She's surviving. Rabid Jack's like, hey, I'll break you. She's like, hey, no you won't. And they argue a little bit, and then the fight finally begins after you see this crazy freaking hand come out of a portal he's got in the middle of his castle here. Because he's insane. So the hand's going to come out. Your character's going to get scared. Because, it is a little trippy. Look at that. Look at that. Well, how would you react if you saw that in person? I think I'd be doing something like that. And then after the cutscene here, you're going to be fighting Rabid Jack. So he's on the other side of the room, but he's going to immediately teleport over to you. And you're going to be fighting. So you have to kill him 4 times. And each time you kill him, you have to loosen the chains in the corners of the room. I started on the southwestern side and worked my way around clockwise. It doesn't matter which one you start with. You just have to do that. The barrels of rum are going to be scattered around the room. You have to drink those when your screen begins to shake, or every 30 seconds is a fair, time to drink to keep your sanity up. You're going to want to pray against melee as well because he attacks with melee. I didn't put this up in the text on screen too, but freedom is really going to help you in this encounter. He has essentially an asphyxiate ability where it stuns you and deals damage, but when you freed him out of that, it stops dealing damage. It can save a lot of health for you. Now, I didn't speed this fight up at all because it is the last fight of the quest. I wanted to be able to see how I pull him around the room, how I navigate, how often I drink the rum. You can see when my screen shakes, and if I sped it up, you wouldn't be able to see that as clearly, and I want to make sure that you can. Now, when you're starting to see that hand, you're gonna want to drink the rum, and if you start seeing other things pop up on the ground like hands and stuff, that's you need to drink the rum as well, just for your character's sanity. Now, once you kill him the first time, you're only going to be able to loosen 1 chain. Took me a second here to figure out what I had to do. So I drank some rum, loosened the chain, and then as soon as you loosen the chain, he comes right back. So what I did is I realized I had to do 4, so I pulled him north, and we started going clockwise around the room. I believe if you were to leave him out of combat long enough, I didn't test it. This is just a theory. If you kill him and he doesn't come back till you loosen the chains, so you might be able to use regenerate abilities if you have adrenaline left over to restore some health if you felt you needed to. So at this point on, the fight is just repeated. You only have to actually loosen the chains 3 times. After you kill him the 4th time, your character automatically does it and a cutscene begins. But I'm not going to say anything else for the rest of the fight. Maybe a little comment here and there. But just from this point on, you go ahead and fight and watch what I'm doing. I was going through food so quick I had to actually turn on my Vampirism Aura. I don't know if I would have made it through the fight if I hadn't. So yeah, you can see my screen is starting to wobble because I haven't drank rum in a while. So when your screen starts to shake, you're going to start seeing things pop up that can do damage to you. You're just going to want to make sure you drink the rum. As you can see, he has some pretty high defense, so you do miss a lot. Or you might actually already be done for the fight and just waiting on me to finish if you're a higher level. But, you know, I'm the best at the game, so I doubt it. So I'm about to kill him for the 4th time here, and you can see once you finally do kill him, you don't have to loosen the chains. It automatically does, it goes to a cutscene here where your character pushes him into his little Twilight portal, I guess you could call it. And then he gets trapped down there under everything. So the female pirate's going to be freed. She's going to ask you if you have any questions. And if you do, you can ask the questions. But I just wanted to be done with the quest at this point. So I said, let's go. And she's going to take you back to Mos Le Harmless. Now you're going to want to return to the bar basement, doing the whole long drop shenanigans once again. And once you're down there, dialogue is going to automatically begin, where everybody just kind of reminisces about everything that happened. You talk about, you know, Rabid Jack finally being gone and hoping he's actually gone this time. And And that's the quest. Guys, you did it. You finished the pirate quest line. I'm proud of you. If this video helped you, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. All that good nonsense. Even just share the video if you feel like it. Check out my other videos. I do all sorts of stuff. Mostly guides, but, you know, other things. And if you want, join the clan, the Discord. I got a video somewhere on my channel for all that. Thanks.